Welcome to Don't Watch Qatar 2022, a series of articles and podcast episodes about the dilemma many football fans are facing right now: to watch or not to watch the upcoming World Cup. My name is Enzio Bakker, I'm a Dutch football fan and I decided a couple of years ago that I'm not going to watch this year's World Cup. In the next few weeks I'll explain why, by answering 8 questions every football fan should ask themselves. But before we start diving into the questions, first we'll have this introduction episode to set you guys up and to explain what we're going to do in the next couple of weeks. Our goal is not necessarily to convince you not to watch the World Cup, even though the title of our project is a little bit provocative. We would like you not to watch the World Cup, but we strongly believe that it's everybody's own decision. We will judge nobody who does watch the World Cup, because we think football fans are not the most responsible people in this case. We would like to point to FIFA and to Qatar themselves. They are the ones responsible for all this. However, we would like every football fan also to take their little slice of responsibility and think very carefully about their decision and make this decision based on all the relevant information. In the next couple of weeks we will try to give you all this relevant information in articles and in podcast episodes. The podcast episodes will basically be summaries of the articles. If you listen to all the episodes you will have a good overview of what we're trying to say. But if you really want to dig a little deeper, I would recommend you to also read the articles, because the articles provide a lot more detail and also link to the sources that we use to piece all this together, so you can check those sources and make up your own mind about them. So, now you know what the project is going to be. I will tell you something about my personal decision-making process in the last couple of years, and this basically starts around the World Cup of 2018. Back then I already knew there was something pretty wrong about Russia. It was a very dubious choice for a host nation, and I knew how Putin would try to use this tournament basically as propaganda to show the world how great Russia was, while it really wasn't. But I felt like, what should I do with this information? Should I not watch, or what difference does it make? And in the end I watched almost all the matches. I really love the World Cup. I really love watching football on the highest level. So I did. I watched almost anything, and my attitude was basically, why should I let all this be taken away from me? Then when the World Cup was over, we were of course heading towards Qatar 2022. And I also knew that there was a lot of stuff wrong over there, human rights abuses and all kinds of things. But I felt like nobody's really doing anything about it, so why should I do anything? Football players, officials, corporations are all backing the World Cup. Almost no football player has boycotted the tournament. Big clubs like Ajax and PSV from my country, or Bayern Munich from Germany, are making trips to Qatar, making a lot of money, while famous players like James Rodriguez, Santi Cazorla, they play in the Qatari league. Also, a lot of famous former players are ambassadors for Qatar, like David Beckham, who is the most famous one, but also Cafu, the Brazilian former captain. And in the Netherlands it's Ronald de Boer, who's been very prominent in defending Qatar and their World Cup. Plus there's a lot of usual sponsors for FIFA who are also sponsoring this World Cup without asking many questions. So it felt to me like, if they don't do anything, why should I do anything about it? But then shortly after the 2018 World Cup, I watched the documentary The Workers' Cup, and this documentary put my enjoyment of the World Cup in a very different perspective. The documentary follows several workers who build stadiums and infrastructure in Qatar, and it shows their working conditions, very long hours, temperatures, around 40 degrees Celsius. When they're finished with working, they live in very small living quarters with up to 10 people. They get paid below minimum wage, sometimes they don't even get paid, and their passports are confiscated by their employee, so they can't switch jobs, they can't return home. And it's really a very, very dark picture of what's happening over there. And the most tragic story in the documentary is that of the 21-year-old Kenneth from Ghana, who was lured to Qatar by a so-called scout in his homeland who said he could play for a team from the Qatari league. But when he arrived in the country, it turned out that he was going to be sent to a workers' camp. So now we see him stuck in this workers' camp. He can't quit his job, he can't return to Ghana because he doesn't have his passport. And he's really, really desperate. But then the Workers' Cup is organized. This is what the documentary is named after. And this gives Kenneth a little bit of hope. The Workers' Cup is a football tournament organized by the government in which teams of workers will play each other. While there are scouts from pro teams, they are said to be in the stadium watching the matches, looking for young talent. And Kenneth sees this as a possible way out. Then we have a scene of Kenneth trying to impress during the match, really trying to play the best he can, but because he puts so much pressure on himself, it doesn't go the way he plans, and he doesn't manage to really stand out during the matches. So the longer the scene drags on, the more and more I at least, but I think most people who would watch it felt really bad about Kenneth, and especially when it's intercut with shots from the stands where these rich sheiks are watching and really enjoying themselves, laughing. It really started to feel like I was watching a real life version of the Hunger Games. And I already knew about the issues in Qatar, but seeing it like this, seeing the injustice, seeing how unfair this situation was for this young man and for all the other young men over there, I decided, before the documentary was over, I decided I'm not going to watch this World Cup. I'm not going to watch a single match. I'm not going to watch highlights or other World Cup related content. I do not want to be a part of this tournament. So that's the decision I made. But then a couple of years later, my country, the Netherlands, managed to qualify for the World Cup, which was a little bit unexpected because they didn't qualify for 2018. And then my football-loving heart started to doubt my decision, and a little voice started talking in my head, trying to find reasons to still watch the World Cup. Reasons why maybe this World Cup in Qatar might not be so bad. These questions, these were 8 questions, they are going to be central in this project. Every next article and episode will be centered around one of these questions, and I will list those questions now. First of all, is this World Cup really that bad? And is this World Cup so much worse than previous tournaments, like the one in Russia or the one in Argentina in 1978? Won't this World Cup lead to improvements concerning human rights in Qatar? Won't this World Cup turn out to be a disaster for the Qatari because of all the bad publicity? And why should football do anything about these problems? Sports and politics don't mix, right? Moreover, isn't it too late by now? The stadiums are finished, the game is on. What can we do about it now? If I individually choose not to watch, what difference does that make? And how about the Netherlands? We're finally back at the World Cup. Do I really want to miss this? These are the 8 questions that we're going to cover. And for each of these questions, I hoped I would find a reassuring answer. A reason that I could say to my conscience, well, maybe it's not that bad over there. Maybe I can still watch the World Cup. But after researching every topic quite thoroughly, I decided to stick with my decision not to watch. Why I did, I will tell you in the upcoming episodes, the upcoming articles, by answering each question. And then after all that, I hope you will make up your own mind and decide if you want to watch or not. Again, if you tune in November and watch the World Cup. I will not judge you, it's your own decision to make, but I just hope you make it consciously and based on relevant information. To read more, please visit our website don'twatchqatar2022.com. If you want to support us financially, please don't. We don't want to profit off this tournament. Instead, please donate to one of the organizations listed on our website. This list is not complete. We will add more organizations as we go along, but we will provide you the opportunity to help in a meaningful way. Also, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and TikTok. We'll keep you posted on the next episodes. Thank you for listening. This was Enzio Bakker from the Netherlands, and I hope you will join us again next time.